introduction to oracle cards. We're going to cover how to choose your oracle cards, how to cleanse them, infuse them with your energies, why are oracle cards so popular, and we're going to also go over the different decks of oracle cards. So here's what I've noticed, whether I do Facebook Lives or film reels for TikTok or just watch other readers, one thing that's really popular are oracle cards. And I think they're so popular because the pictures are just, they're so pretty. People love to know what's coming up for them next. What do you see in my future? What can the cards tell me? When it comes to picking oracle cards, it's really your preference. And the great thing about it, there are so many categories. So if you're someone who really has an attraction to angels, there are angel cards, there are fairy cards, there are tarot cards, there's light beam cards. So I have several decks myself, and what I like to do is, if you're able to get out in person, one way to choose a deck of cards is to go in a bookstore. So you can go into a Barnes & Noble or maybe a spiritual bookstore, and as you go up and down the aisle and you look at the different decks, you want to see what stands out to you, what really calls you. Sometimes for me, a deck just might fall off the shelf, or maybe through my third eye clairvoyantly, and we'll talk about the clairs in the next video. I might see a deck that actually highlights for me, or I just see a deck that I just feel like I'm just drawn to and I'm just pulled to that deck. So whenever you feel guided to a deck, that's your deck. That is the deck that you work with. It also works online, so it doesn't matter if you're in person or online. You see a deck that you're very attracted to, that's your deck. So a couple of online places that I like to go to, one is Amazon, another one is Hay House. They both have a great selection of decks and can ship fairly quickly. Once you get your deck of cards, it's important that you clean them because they've been on the factory line, and you want to make sure that you infuse them with your energy. So one of the things that I like to do is smudge my cards. So I'll take sage, I'll light it up, I'll let it get nice and smoky, and then I will pass the sage over the top and over the bottom in order to cleanse the cards. Once I'm done cleansing the cards, then I will touch each and every card in order to infuse it with my energy. So when you infuse the cards with your energy, the cards are connected to you. So whether you're reading for yourself or you're reading for someone else, you can get an accurate read. If someone else touches your cards or they play with your cards, you just want to make sure that you've cleansed them again so that you don't have a mixed reading when you do your next reading. Another way that you can cleanse your cards is by using the smokeless sage, which is in a bottle. This I would be careful with because it's wet, especially if you have cards that are very sensitive as far as the ink. It could be very easy for the ink to run, or it can also make your cards sticky. So that's why I prefer to run it back and forth by smudging it. And if it's too much to smudge inside, if it irritates maybe family, friends, or a pet, you can always try smudging outside. But once you're done with saging your deck and infusing it with your energy, you can give it a good shuffle, and then you're ready to begin.